Welcome to Life Mastery for Women, where I help you decode the struggles in your life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality with mind mastery, emotional management, and meditation. Welcome to today's podcast. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you to be a big, fat quitter. If you're not a big, fat quitter, then it is my intention that in today's episode I give you one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. A quitter? What are you talking about, Jen? My whole entire life, my parents have devoted their time and energy and said, be a winner. Winners don't quit, and quitters don't win. Well, you know what though? Quitters also don't advance. In order to replace a habit, you must quit a habit. In order to advance in your standards, to elevate your life, you must quit the level below. You ever played a video game? You ever played a video game? Anything, whether it is freaking Angry Birds or some Lego game or some tile matching game or bubble matching game. You go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. You're constantly advancing. Too bad we don't advance through life that fast, right? But once you learn the inner workings, if you were to continue to play level 1 over and over and over again, it would become frustrating, it would become boring, life would have no flavor. So the gaming industry has figured out how to get us to advance. You start out with a really simple level. You finish that level, you do pretty good. They make it so freaking easy, you move on to the next one. And they reward you with tokens or stars or energy or points. Okay? In life, it is similar. However, we don't look at life that way. We look at life as slow and it's always changing, but it's always changing when I don't want it to, and I don't have control of my life, and I don't know what I'm doing. And that is so not true. Because here's how life can be. When you're little, you are thrown into this world dependent on others. Life isn't easy, except if you look at a baby, their life does seem sort of easy, doesn't it? They cry, they crap, they learn to do things, but they are dependent on other people. But they only have two things to worry about. That is their mere survival of being fed and then being nurtured. Okay? Their mere survival, being fed, shelter, water, and then being nurtured, finding love. So take that and expand on it. Now go up to a kid who's 4. His expansion is still similar, except now he's learning different things. He's being taught different things. Now keep going. A teenager. Again, still needing to survive, still looking for approval and acceptance, but it's different. Now look at where you are right now in your life. We just talked about raising standards. We just talked about assessing your life and where you are and how we can move things from here, to go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. When you stand back and you assess your life, where are you the most happy? Where are you the happiest? What area of your life is really, really working for you? That you're really satisfied, you're really excited, you're happy, and not even just content, but when you think about it, it puts a smile on your face. What area of your life? Health? Is your health optimum? Are you happy with your body? Are you happy with how your body feels while you're in it? Are you excited to move and you have energy and vitality? And you are free from disease, and you eat foods that are healthy, and you drink water, and you enjoy a meal, but you enjoy movement and exercise, and you sleep well? Or is it your relationships, where you get enough time to yourself, and you fill your bucket, and you feel amazing with your relationship with you? You have this understanding with you and your spirit, and your higher self, and how you can grow, and you don't minimize your potential. And then your relationships with others. You have relationships that are pretty decent with your kids. Communication, love, acceptance, unconditional love. Do you have really, really solid communication, respect, passion, intimacy, and friendship with your spouse? Do you have a spouse? Do you live alone? But do you have relationships with others that when you look at those people in your life, you're like, yeah, my life is good? How about your career, your contribution, your money, your finances, the way that you express your time in giving to others and contributing to the world around you and then getting something back in return? Whether it's more money or some other form of compensation or joy and happiness to be able to contribute and to be able to give to others. What if none of those are at the level that you want them to be? When we leave a level in a video game, we're quitting that level because we have an understanding of what's working and what doesn't. We know how to use the controls. We have an idea of how the game works. But somehow in life, we continue to stay at our levels without moving up, without taking the time to assess and understand how the world works, how the universe works, how you as an energy being and a physical being sharing a body, sharing an experience, how that works and how you can go from here at this level to a level above. Well, you need a couple of things. One, you need courage to be able to move. You need courage to be able to look at your life and say, yeah, you know what? I want to go. I'm ready. I'm ready to take on the challenge. I'm ready to overcome the obstacles, to be a woman warrior and to move at lightning speed with determination, commitment, and skill as you go forward. Make a commitment, set an intention, right? It gives you that determination, it gives you that commitment and drive that gets you up in the morning to do what you need to do to move that level. Just like a video game. I have to learn these skills. I have to have this determination. If I don't complete the level, I never move on. And I have to repeat the level. If I don't learn the skills, I don't get to move on. I get rewards as I go. The other thing you need is you need to be able to let go. You need to be able to quit habits that do not work. Habits that don't work for you. Habits that are holding you back. If I'm in this video game, and let's say it's a driving video game, and in order to move on to level 2 and to get the nice cool race car that I really, really want, I have to be able to beat this fast car. But I'm turning the controls too sharp and I keep crashing into the walls. Or I'm not using the extra resources that I have, like lightning speed or jumping or extra wheels when I blow a tire in the oil slick. Whatever the thing is. I am not able to advance. I stay in level 1. And then I say, what? This game is stupid. Have any of you ever said that about life? Life is stupid. It's unfair. I'm not getting my break. I'm not getting my chance. How come I don't get what other people have? There's one thing that you're missing. Take your current skill set, and I ask you, can you learn something new? Then, can you do something new so you can become someone new? There are people in our Lady Rising group that are taking on a new challenge and challenging their bodies, challenging their minds, challenging their connection spiritually. And it's a lot of fun to watch them grow and shift and change. And there's one girl in our group who has taken on the chance to do a race of sorts. It's called the Tough Mudder. And as you know, if you've been listening to my other podcasts, I was a personal trainer and a boot camp instructor. So I really love and value the physicality of a body and the dedication that it takes to shift and change and form your body to ultimate peak performance. And this young lady decides, you know what, I'm sick of pain. I'm sick of dealing with this other crap, and I want to do this race. I want to do this race. And I like the idea of doing this race versus a running, just a 5K, a 10K, a marathon, because it's going to allow me to, or push me to work out my body to a completely different level. Because runners, what do? If you're an ultimate runner, you are working out your body in a lot of different ways. But typical runners, they run for practice. That's their practice. I'm going to do 5 miles today. I'm going to do 6 miles today. I'm going to do 10 miles today, right? They don't do much other than become better runners. Why do runners have knee problems? Because they don't do ankle and calf and shin exercises. They don't strengthen their quads and hamstrings with strength training stability exercises. So their knees don't end up, they're not able to continue to support the constant pounding and pressure that running does to the body. But this young lady says, you know what, I'm going to do this race, and I've already got a couple of them picked out. Like, I'm going to do this one in Michigan, and then I'm going to do this other one later in the year, and I'm going to train my entire body, and I'm going to dedicate, and I'm going to commit to this end result. So you have to know why you want to level up. You have to know what you're doing. Just like in a video game, I want that car, I want that gold, I want that thing, whatever the thing is that strives you forward to become better and to continue to utilize your skills. When we become complacent in our lives, we stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start dying. When you stop growing, when you stop progressing, progression equals happiness. So this girl says, you know what, I'm going to train for this race. And it's, if you know anything about it, it's a running in between obstacles. So you're running, you start out running, and then you have an obstacle. You have to climb over, you have to swing across, you have to crawl under, you have to carve through the mud, you have to weave in and out of, you have to do 50 burpees, you have to climb across these monkey bars, you have to swing over this fire. And in between, you're running. So she had to do two things. She had to figure out how is she going to strengthen her body and create a balance for peak performance so she can swing from the monkey bars and climb and crawl and jump. But then she also has to increase her endurance, the longevity. It's a 10K. And in that 10K, you are running, you are moving quickly, so your heart has to be strong. But her why was big enough that here's her schedule. She gets up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. She has a long-term boyfriend and 2 kids. She gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. She gets stuff ready. She goes to the gym. She does her hour and a half even workout. She comes home. Everybody's still asleep. She packs lunch. She gets ready. She does some things around the house. She gets herself ready to go to work. And then when the kids get up and her boyfriend gets up, she starts helping everybody get around, packing their bags, grabbing their lunches, filling their water bottles, helping them get through and get out the door. Her body has shifted. Her mind has shifted. Her spirit has connected to something bigger. And she has adapted, shifted, changed, added skill, been committed, been determined, added the drive, and has completely shifted her life. Ask me when she started. It was just mere months ago. She's lost weight, sculpted her body. She looks fantastic. She's strong. She's got endurance. And she's got her why. But most importantly, she knows she can do anything. She feels empowered. She feels strong and in charge. She changed her life. But she had to quit a couple of things. She had to quit sleeping in. She had to quit hitting the snooze button. Maybe she had to quit smoking or drinking to be able to endure this endurance training. Because smoking and drinking is not going to help you endure a bunch of running and obstacle and training. It's going to make it harder. But she had to quit some behaviors that were holding her back. I'm driving in this video game. I have to quit running into the wall. I have to start using these other skills and resources that will allow me to beat the number one driver. I have to look at my life and say, what am I doing that is not helping me to progress in my relationships, in my connections, in my money or my finances or my career or my happiness? What am I doing that is not contributing to that? Am I doing drugs? Am I drinking? Am I smoking? Am I yelling at my children? Am I laying on the couch when I get home? Am I watching a bunch of TV? Am I moving my body at all other than getting up to go to the fridge for a beer? If you are full of habits and behaviors that are not moving you forward, I'm going to ask you one question. Why? Why is that? Why aren't you moving forward? Why aren't you making different choices? And there's one answer. You give me your whole litany of excuses, but when we boil it all the way down, there's one word at the bottom of the pan when the water is all boiled out, and that is fear. Fear that you can't do it, fear that you can, fear that your relationships will fall apart, fear that they won't, fear that you will fail, fear that your life will change and it'll be better, but you won't know how to do it. Now you're on a different race course and you have to drive differently and you have a different car and things are faster and you might not be able to do it and you might crash into the walls. But what if you don't? What if you don't? What if you grow bumpers on your car that bump you off the wall? What if instead of falling off the cliff, you sprout wings? What if instead of falling into the ocean and drowning in overwhelm of this success, that you grow gills? What if resources show up? Because the view gets better, the perspective gets sharper, the higher you get. Because if you're on level 20, can you not go back any of those levels below you and basically whoop it all out? You ever completed a level and you know however good you did and you get this advance of like you get 1, 2, or 3 stars? And then you just advance the next level, And then you look at the whole grid and you look at level 1, you're like, 2 stars? What the frack? And you go back to level 1 and you do it again, and you do it faster and you get 3 stars. You ever done that? Like I do that all the time. I'm like, I can't stand looking at the grid and not seeing all 3 stars and all of the squares. Life is a challenge, and life can be hard, and life can knock you down. But it is up to us to dig deep inside our souls to call forward the resources that we need to be amazing. To quit the habits and skills that no longer serve you. You might have picked up smoking when you were 12, 13, 15, 18 years old because you were trying to be accepted by your peers. But here you are now trying to live a healthy lifestyle, but you still smoke and you're coughing every single morning and you can't walk up a flight of stairs without dying and feeling like your lungs are going to burn or you're going to pass out. And now you want to live a healthy lifestyle. Have you learned to be accepted? You've learned it. So now you can quit smoking. Do you understand that it is up to us to move up those levels? So here's your action step. So as I asked you in the very beginning, what is going on in your life? Where are you? What is an area that you're constantly complaining about that you want to level up? Then I want you to write down split your paper in half. And on one side of the paper, I want you to write down all of the behaviors and habits that you have that do not contribute to this change, this shift, this higher standard. If you want to deepen your relationships with your kids, write all those things down on the left-hand column that do not contribute to deepening your relationship with your kids. Okay? Then, when you've got this list, I want you to take a moment and look at that list. Read those bullet points or those sentences out loud to yourself. And then I want you to say out loud, this is not me. This can no longer be me again because I'm choosing something different. Look at that list of the things that do not level you up, that do not progress you when there's a goal, there's an aspiration that you want. You want to deepen your relationship with your kids. Look at the list of the habits and the behaviors that do not assist you. And then you say, this is not me. This can never be me again because I choose to go deeper. I choose to raise my standard. I choose to level up my life. Get out of level 1 and move on to level 2. Learn new skills. Now on the right side of the paper, on the top of the column, I want you to write skills, habits, and behaviors. Skills, habits, and behaviors. And if you do need to, maybe even write the word knowledge. Skills, habits, behaviors, and knowledge. These are the things that you can look at and go, and ask as you're trying to deepen your relationship, you're trying to achieve your goal, you're trying to make more money, you're trying to advance your career, whatever it is you're trying to do. Now you say, what skills do I need? What skills do I need to deepen my relationship with my kids? I need to learn how to talk to teenagers. I need to learn how to to bond with toddlers. I need to know how to cook healthy meals. I need to know how to have fun with my kids. Okay. The next is, what behaviors or habits do I need to pick up that will support this new skill? Now this is the action part. What new behaviors do I need to pick up or put into place that will help me achieve this new skill, this new thing? And then what knowledge do I need? Knowledge is different than the skill. The skill is the actual thing that you're practicing. So we gain the knowledge, learning how to play with our toddlers, let's say, or learning how to have conversations with our teenagers, or learning how to work out my entire body so I am balanced, so certain body parts don't hurt and fail when I am out in the world doing the things I love. Okay, knowledge. Ooh, I need to know how to work out. I need to know how to strengthen my upper back. I need to know how to add more flexibility to my body. These are things, what do I need to know? The next is, what skills do I need? I need to work out. So I need to know how to work out. I need to know what to do, where to go, how many times, how many reps, and for how long. I need to know, if I'm going to have conversations with my teens, what does it look like? What skill do I need? I need to be patient. I need to be honest. I need to be more fun. I need to be more relaxed. I need to be funnier, or maybe less funny, maybe less sarcastic, maybe more in tune to the things that they're interested in. And then habits and behaviors are things that are the doing part. So when I take my girl here that is in our Lady Rising group and I say, okay, what habit does she need? She's like, I'm working a ton, and then there's kids, and there's dinner, and there's showers, and there's there's bedtime, and getting ready, and hanging out with my boyfriend, and there's all this stuff. When do I have time? She found the time. I need to create a habit of getting up a lot earlier in the morning. I need to give up the habit of sleeping in and hitting the snooze button. So she created this new behavior, this new choice that says, you know what? I want this goal so bad, and I have the courage, and I know that I can do it, and I know that there's people out there that will support me. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set the alarm at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I'm going to put my running shoes in my workout bag right next to the bed. And I'm going to literally pick it up as I roll out of bed. I'm going to walk into the bathroom. I'm going to put on deodorant, change my clothes, brush my teeth, and get in the car. She created a new habit, but she had to gain the knowledge first. Hey, I want to fix my body. I want to get healthy. What am I going to do? What can I do? I understand the do part. This is not the do part. It's like, I want to do something. I want to change my body. That's the first part. What's the knowledge? Oh, let's look up some stuff. I don't want to do a running race. I don't really like biking. I don't want to do, you know what? There's these races called the Tough Mudders. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to gain some knowledge about this. I'm going to look at the course and what do I need to train. Now I'm going to gain some knowledge on maybe some training programs or some regimens that I can put into practice. Maybe I'm even going to go find a gym that trains people how to do obstacle courses. The skill is now go, learn, lift weights. How many, how often, which ones? Which ones? What am I doing? The new habit, set the alarm at 4 o'clock. Set up my stuff, set myself up for success. Months later, she's a beast. She's a beast. She's addicted to working out. Everything is shifted for her. What is it for you? On one side of the paper, you have the habits, the behaviors that are not supporting you and leveling up. And if you need the ideas, you can say, okay, let's say it's hitting the snooze button. Let's say it's yelling at your kids. You want to deepen your relationship. Let's say it's yelling at your kids. I yell at my kids. I'm short. I'm impatient. I move too quickly. My kids don't move fast enough. They leave messes behind. The boys can't go from one end of the house to the other without breaking 3 things. And I'm like, dude, you guys, right? But I want to deepen my relationship. So I look at these things over here and I look at impatient. Impatient is not a virtue that helps to support deepening my relationships with my boys. So then I say, okay, if I wasn't impatient, what would I be? I'd be calm. That was the one that came to me. Impatient might have come to you, but calm came to me. If I wasn't yelling, what would I be doing? I would be, the one that came to me just now is having fun. Maybe instead of not yelling, having fun. You can move some of those over to the list on the right. The new habits that you're going to put into place that will support the idea of the desire that you're wanting to achieve. So what if you are able to now look at this new list and be like, okay, Jen, wow, I have 20 new habits, behavior, knowledge, skill that I need. Holy flapping crap. You just completely overwhelmed me. Okay, let's do this. Get out a clean sheet of paper. Put that sheet next to you so you can see it. Fold that paper in half so you're not seeing the negative, the things that don't support you, but you're seeing the positive things that do support you. Fold it in half so you're just seeing the positives. Work with just that list. Now I want you to go through and rate each thing on that list. Number 1 is I can do that right now. I can start getting up a half an hour earlier right now. I can look for a gym right now. I can have a conversation instead of talking on the phone or talking about work or listening to the radio or ignoring my kid or even having your kid in the car playing on their phone. Is no electronics on the way to school in the car so I can talk with you. I can get to know you. Let's have a conversation. How about just halfway? How about just 15 minutes? Whatever your drive is to school. How about 10 minutes, no electronics, let's just talk to each other. Not lecture, not nag, hey, how's it going? And don't even talk about school. What are the most important things that you and your friends do? And they'll be, Mom, you're going to nag me about my friends. Like, okay, what's your favorite food? If you had $1 million, where would you go? If you could plan a family vacation, where would you go? If you could plan a vacation with your friends, where would you go? If you could go buy a car, ask them questions like this that stimulate their creativity to make it fun. Could you do that right now? So you're going to rate your whole list. The number 1s are the things, and pick 3. Pick 3 things of your list. Unless you're so motivated and so like invigorated and lit up by this activity, then pick 5. But to not overwhelm you, pick 3. 3 things you can do, a skill you can learn, some knowledge you can gain, or a habit and behavior you can implement. And look at that list and write number 1 next to 3 items on that list. And then the next is, that one's going to take a little bit of time. That one, I'm going to plan a trip for just a weekend getaway with me and my daughter, okay, or me and my son, or me and my spouse. But that's going to take a little bit more time. I'm going to put a 2 next to that. I decided I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get out of social work and I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to become a nurse. Oh, well, that's going to take some time. That's going to take longer time. But I can still research it. And I'm kind of excited to research it. So maybe you put a 1 and a 3 next to it. A 1 would be, I can start doing some of the stuff right now. But a 3 is, this is kind of a little bit out in the future. Make sense? Have fun with this list. These are the things that we need in our life. We need the support. We need to know that somebody's on my team. Somebody is next to me saying, go, Jen, you can do this. You have the courage. You can build this business. You can deepen your relationship. You can make the money that you want and have the contribution that you want in life. You guys can build or buy the bigger house. Go on the vacations that you want to go on. Free your wife from her full-time job. Give choices to your kids as they get older. We always need somebody in our back pocket. And if you don't have that support immediately in your life, your spouse, your kids, your family, your friends, not supporting you in this endeavor, holding you back, maybe in your negative column, you have people in there that's like my mother-in-law, my sister, my kids, they're holding me back from succeeding. Doesn't mean you get rid of them. You just work around them. And you do that by getting other support in our Lady Rising group on Facebook. Go to Facebook, type in Lady Rising, join our community. This is where we support one another. Matter of fact, this story that I was telling you is one of our Lady Rising girls. It's one of our sisters. And she was telling and sharing her story. And she is phenomenal in overcoming and gaining this courage to beat the odds. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, wow, I commend her. And I'm telling you, with the support of her sisters, we have been there. She seems like she's on fire. She's doing an amazing job. But you know what? I bet some of those days are hard. And she has the support system out there that allows her to continue to do this and continue to share her journey with other people. Would that work for you? Would that be something that you would want to do? Could that be something that you're like, you know what, I do. I need some support because my family doesn't get it. My family doesn't understand, but I'm going to do this for them. I'm going to become the mom. I'm going to become the aunt. I'm going to become the sister. I'm going to become the wife that I know I am meant to be. And if I do that, then there's nothing stopping me. Change happens in an instant. It doesn't take forever. Change happens when you decide. Change happens when you decide to become a quitter of the bad habits and behaviors that no longer serve you. Becoming a quitter is a way to move up. It's a way to level up. And I'm here to support you. Lady Rising on Facebook. Join our community. Tell me you came in through the podcast. And I would love to listen to your story and support you through your success and through your struggles. That's what we're doing. That's what we're growing. There's not enough of these around. There's not enough places for us to be successful in our growth and in our desires. So let me be that for you. If you're still listening to this, go to Facebook, type in Lady Rising. If you're a part of our group, share this podcast. Share it with your friends. Share it out on your Instagram or in your Twitter account or on your personal Facebook. Share this because more women need to know that this community is growing and it's becoming unstoppable and it's helping you to become unstoppable. But you gotta quit those habits and those behaviors that no longer serve you. I hope to see you in the group. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate you being here. And the things that you can do, you can give me a rating. You can give me a 5-star rating, especially on this particular podcast. If you loved it, all of that helps me. You can also share this podcast in your own social media, giving even just a little nugget in your write-up that says, this is what I got out of today's podcast. Let me know what you got. I'd love to hear from you. If you're not a part of our group, please join. Have a great one. Talk to you later. If you liked this episode and you look forward to future episodes and are really looking for a community to help support you with implementing the tools that we're talking about in this podcast, please consider joining our online sister community called Lady Rising on Facebook, where we focus on that spiritual support and connection, just like in today's episode. I hope you'll join us. Go to Facebook, type in Lady Rising, and tell me you came in through the podcast.